everyone, and thank you for joining today's Wellness Wednesday session. We have a very special treat for you in today's group. Once a month, we feature a presentation from one of our Senior Planet sponsored athletes. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, every year, Senior Planet selects 5 older adult athletes age 60 and above from across the United States to become wellness ambassadors in the sponsored athlete program. Now, these individuals are very excited about their fitness and they want to share their experiences with accomplishing their wellness goals. So today, we are excited to have Senior Planet sponsored athlete 68-year-old Jan Haig with us. Now, Jan fell in love with fitness in the 80s, and she became a certified instructor and elite athlete over the next several decades. After experiencing a medical setback, she was forced to find a new outlet for exercise and started indoor cycling. Now, Jan is on a mission to teach classes focused on the injured and aging athlete and show that there's always another chance. So now this is Jan's second presentation to this group. The first was back in May when Jan showed us how to transform our at-home cycling into an energetic, low-impact senior spin workout. Well, today Jan is going to share tips on using a spin bike for a safe, fun, and full-body workout at home. With that, I will pass the floor to Jan.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday, happy hump day, glad to see everybody. Let's see, there we go. So as Nicole said, I had pretty much a fitness lifestyle going for like 40 or 45 years of my life. When I was a teenager, I used to go dancing a lot. I was a cheerleader. I was just always bouncing around and getting my heart rate up. And in the early 90s, I started teaching aerobics. Actually, a friend of mine took me in the 80s to my first aerobics class. Her company was sponsoring an aerobics class, and I was like, wow, like after all my dancing and cheerleading, I took to this aerobics right away. And then in the 80s and the early 90s, I moved around a lot for my job. So I took aerobics, and a lot of you can probably identify with this high-low impact aerobics. It just 160 beats per minute. We all used to do it. It was not your mom's workout, it was like our new workout. Really got our heart rate up. I was probably in the best condition I was ever in when I was doing those classes. But when I got done moving around for my job, I moved to 3 or 4 different states, did aerobic classes wherever I went. When I got a little bit more settled in the 90s, back at home base, I started teaching. I got myself certified and started teaching really high impact classes. After about 5 or 6 years of that, I added running to the mix. So not only was I teaching bouncy high impact classes, but on my off days, I was going out and bouncing some more and running. A couple years after that, I added weightlifting. So I had a heavy barbell and I was doing body pump and power flex and heavy classes with barbells. So my body was really taking a beating. I just was never doing anything low impact. I just really preferred bouncy high impact things that really got my heart rate up. And I felt no pain. Everything felt great. I rarely got an injury. If I did, it was healed in like 2 days. I mean, it was a great lifestyle for me. Now, I don't have any kids, so it's a lot easier to do all that stuff when you don't have, a family that you're running around looking after. And maybe I should have had one because it probably would have slowed me down a little for the working out. Around the middle of the early 20s, so the 2000s, so around 2013, I started doing ultra running. So I wasn't satisfied with doing marathons. I wanted to beat myself up even more. So I started doing really, really long distance runs, 50 miles on the weekend, 48-hour races. I mean, I was just really, and still teaching my classes and still lifting a heavy barbell. And one day, training for a marathon, I felt this twinge in my lower back and it went down the back of both my legs and it was sciatic pain, which I had never had before. And I couldn't finish my workout. It was the first time that I ever was out on a training run and I couldn't finish it. I limped back to my car. I told my friend that I was running with, something's wrong. I think I pinched a nerve or something. So, literally limped my way back to my car, drove home, gave it a few days, heating pad, all that stuff. And then the next time I tried to run, it was still there. So it was just crazy the way I never had any kind of a warning that anything was going on until that day. Um, I finally went and had an MRI, saw my doctor. He did x-rays, he looked at the MRI, and he told me that I had significant wear on in my lumbar spine, like in the discs in my lumbar spine, like I barely had any cushioning left. And he said, "What do you do? Like, what is your workout?" And when I told him everything I did, he said, "Well, what do you do like on off days?" And I was like, "What's an off day?" So, I just never took a break. And I'm a good cautionary tale. If you have, younger kids or teens who are, trying to go very extreme all the time, you really have to be careful over time. And I mean, it depends on your genetics too. It took me like 22 years, but I finally ground my back down to the point where it just won't cooperate with me doing anything hardcore like that anymore. So I was very dejected. I asked the doctor if maybe surgery was an option, even though I didn't really want to have surgery, and he actually said no. And when the back doctor who does the operation tells you they don't think it's a good idea, probably not a good idea. He said, I would be down for 4 months, and there wasn't even any guarantee that it would actually fix anything or work or make me feel better. So I said to him, I was almost crying in his office, and he suggested, you need to just find a new workout now that's low impact. You need to try swimming or, more walking or, try cycling. And, I had tried cycling earlier in my life, but it was road cycling, and I really felt like it was dangerous. And I had a couple episodes with close calls with cars, and I really didn't like the idea of taking a bike out on the road. And I think a lot of you are probably the same. Maybe some of you are road bikers. But I was kind of, curious when he said try spin class, just try doing an indoor cycling workout. And I was hopeful, optimistic, like, okay, let me try it. I hope I can get the cardio burn that I used to get from running. And so I tried a few classes at a spin studio, and I took to it like I took to aerobics in the 80s. And I am now closing in at my spin studio on, it'll be 1,200 classes early in the new year, my 1,200th class. I passed my 1,000th during the summer, and I feel great. My lower back feels great. I wondered, I asked my doctor, how come, like, if you're riding a bike and you're constantly doing this, isn't that jostling my lower back? And he said, no, because you're leaning slightly forward, and so you're actually like keeping the pressure off your lower back while you're working out. And I have to say, I have really had no problems with my back since I've been starting this workout. Um, there are so many advantages to it besides that. I think that, it can be suited to modify any body type. And I'm talking about doing it at home now because I know that a lot of people, once they pass, maybe 50, you go to a class with a bunch of 25-year-olds and they don't know from injuries. I mean, I don't mean to be disparaging of an age group, but like they just haven't experienced they don't have arthritis, they don't have bad knees, they don't have a back issue. So they're teaching class like, crank it up, you guys should be on level 4 or 5, and like, no, you shouldn't be. If you're dealing with an injury from your past or, you're creaky these days, like you shouldn't even be trying to go like them. So I have two friends who got injured in spin class. One injured her knees and one needed like a hip replacement because they were just trying to keep up with the kids. You don't have to do that. You can have a bike in your house and get a great workout with it. And I don't mean just sitting there watching TV and pedaling it. There are things you can do on the bike that's going to give you a full body workout in like 20 minutes a day. So I'm going to show you some of those things. A couple other points I want to make. It's good for your joints. I mean, it keeps your joints lubricated to spin. Like I said, it's great for your spine. It's a great calorie burn. So, during the workout itself, of course, you're going to burn calories, but you'll continue to burn probably for another half a day after class. And we're going to be incorporating some weights on the bike too. So when you use the weights, and build some muscle mass or add to the muscle mass you already have, that burns calories even when you're sleeping. So, muscles burn calories around the clock. So the combination of the two, of the cardio and the strength, you're going to be burning more calories than maybe you expected to. You'll also be toning yourself more. One advantage that I've found from just gripping the handlebars is I can open jars better now. I mean, because one of the first things that goes is your hand strength and your finger strength. And just from like holding the handlebars during the workout, I find I have a stronger grip. Balance. It's another great thing that it enhances for you. And we'll do a couple little balance things on the bike so you can see what I mean. But you might find that your posture is improving because your back is stronger or your back's not, as injured feeling as it usually is, and you're able to hold yourself more erect. A lot of the things we're going to be doing are working your upper back, between your shoulder blades, um, your shoulders themselves, your chest. So you're gonna just get like a total workout from being on this bike. And I think a couple other points, your immune system. So I found like I don't get sick very often. The stronger you make yourself, the better able you are to fight off common cold, flu. I haven't had COVID yet. I don't know many people who haven't had COVID, and I guess it's going to get me one day, but so far I haven't had COVID-19. So, and I attribute my exercise, my exercise lifestyle to that. And then I think the last thing I want to mention is your brain health. I mean, just getting this extra oxygen to your brain every day, and then the good sleep that you get from it when your brain refreshes itself. It's really good for your brain health to get this kind of exercise. Um, One thing I will tell you about it though, once you start, you don't have any excuse not to do your workout. If it's snowing out or it's raining out, your bike's in the house, so you get your workout no matter what. I do recommend, kind of interspersing it with another workout that you do. So maybe 20 or 30 minutes on the indoor cycle one day. If it's raining, maybe the next day, if it's sunny, you walk or you hike. I hike a lot. That's what kind of my cross training is hiking. So, don't do it every single day. You need to break it up a little bit, or you might get bored with it. Though I really think there are so many different variations on moves that I'm going to show you a lot of them that it's not that boring. And if you can find some good music on YouTube and just play while you're working out, or on your TV, um, you're good to go. It's going to give you a great workout. Um, we'll save Q&A for the end, but I do have a couple little points I want to make. If you don't have a bike, or if you have a bike that's been sitting in the corner gathering dust because it was your sister-in-law's and she gave it to you during COVID and you never used it, or you used it twice, just a couple things to make yourself comfortable on your bike. So I'm back here. I'm going to turn my seat a little bit. My seat's kind of swivelly. Hopefully you can see it, but my hand is on it right now. You're going to bring your knee up, and wherever your knee is at 90 degrees, that's where you set your seat. So it should be level with your 90-degree knee. And then you're going to set the front part, your bars, wherever your seat is. So if you're just getting started, bring your knee up to 90, put the seat level right next to your hip, and then set up your handlebars at the same level. And then, after you do it for a while, you may want to make little tweaks, make the seat a little lower, make the handlebars a little higher, but that's a good place for you to start. So I'm going to start my music. Oh, one thing I want to remind you guys, it did say it in the invite, but we're going to be using light weights. So if you have your light weights, have them nearby. I'm really lucky. Mine sit on the back of my bike in a little cage. So if you need a little table with your weights next to you, grab that, your water and your towel, because hopefully I'm going to make you sweat. All right, so I'm going to start up some music here. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear this music good. I'm going to go get on the bike and I'm going to yell so that I can project, and hopefully you're going to hear me well. All right, so let's bike. I want to do a couple stretches before we get on the bike. Stand a little closer to you guys right here. Both hands up. Bring them up above your head. You're going to tilt to the right, tilt to the left. You're probably seeing me left, right, not right, left. Tilt whatever direction you want. Lean back a little bit. So I don't want you way back here, just a slight little bend. Good. Both hands up again. Take one hand, put it on top of your head, tilt your ear to your shoulder, and take this hand, flex it, and bring it down. That'll give you a good stretch in your head, neck, and shoulders. Other side, hand on top of your head, flex your hand, and just bring it down. Good. Should feel good. It should feel like it's stretching out your neck real good. Both hands on top of your head and just tilt your head forward gently. Put your chin on your chest. So you're not going crazy like this. You're just slightly tilting the head down. Good. Both hands, bring them across. Give yourself a hug. One hand, across the front, stretch out your arm and shoulder. Other way. Now, there's no need to rush through this. I'm doing this a little fast so we can get through it, but you might want to take a little longer if you need a little bit longer to feel stretched out. Okay, clasp your fingers together. I'm going to step back again so you can see me a little bit better. Now, your hands don't have to be here. They don't have to be here. They can be down here. If this is where you can get them, you lift up a little bit or bringing them up where you can bring them. Same thing behind. We're going to put the shoulder blades together. Put the hands together. You can lift them up a little, great. You can get them up higher, fine. Wherever you can get them. I'm going to feel that in the shoulder blades, a nice stretch. Let's roll the shoulders. Roll. Now, if you're getting on the bike with me, great. I'm going to show you, roll forward. I'm going to show you how to do these moves sitting or standing. I love to do them standing. If you would prefer to do them sitting, that's just fine. If you're not on a bike today, you can march along next to it. You can just kind of march along next to your computer, and when we do the weight parts, you can do the weight parts with us. But at least you'll be picking up kind of what we're doing on the bike and maybe deciding for yourself if a bike looks like a good option for you, okay? So we want to include you too if you're not even on a bike today, that's fine. So let's go get on the bike. Step on up. We still have a little bit more stretching out we're going to do on the bike. Now, one thing you might notice here is, if I can get it, I have my spin shoes on, but I'm using the cages on the bike. So if you have a bike, you probably have the option of either clipping into your pedal or using these cages. The cages are good if you don't have clips on your shoes, which a lot of people don't when they start indoor cycling. They just have regular workout shoes. So if you have regular workout shoes, slide them into these little cages. And I'm going to show you how it looks in the cage today. So let's just warm it up. Warming it up, just pedal it out. Make sure the resistance is off your bike. You have a little wheel for your resistance that's right down the middle here. Maybe you have like a little gear shift, something like that. Make sure it's at the lowest point. We want this to be an easy warm up. Push, push, and push. If you're sitting down, that's fine. You're doing the same. Good. Just get the legs warmed up. Now let's stop for a second. Stand up, or you can stay seated if you need to. Point your toes upward. I'm standing up so you can see my toes. You can do this sitting down too. Point your toes up towards the sky. You feel a good stretch up your hamstring. Switch. Toes up. Feel a good stretch in your hamstring. Nice. Now, this is the only time I'm going to allow you to round your back in the entire class. Point your toes down and round your back. Stretch out the back. If you're sitting, same thing. You can do this sitting. It's a little more awkward, but that's the only time I'm going to let you put your head in like your shoulders like you're a turtle. Okay? Let's start pedaling it out. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to teach you a small routine. And we're going to do that routine a few times, and we're going to intersperse some weights and some hill climbs in with it. By the end, you should feel pretty good that you know this routine pretty well. All right? Let's start with a crunch. Crunch and up. Crunch and up. So what's a crunch? Lower your elbows towards the handlebar. Crunch and lift. Crunch and lift. Good. Now on the crunch, you want to be sure you're not down here. You're hinging at the waist. Waist and up. So what are we working here? Upper back, lower back, shoulders, biceps, waist. All those things, like almost the entire upper body is working out with this crunch. And guess what? You don't have to get down on the floor and do your crunch. So you know how some exercise classes you're on the floor and they want you to do the bicycle. and crunch while you're biking with like just pedaling your legs free in the air. And a lot of people really hate that exercise. This is an easy way to do it and get the same results. 4, 3, 2. Let's try a little pulse. 3, 2, 1, push up. 3, 2, 1, push up. If you're seated, 3, 2, 1, push up. 3, 2, 1, push up. Nice. That's the crunch. Let's add on. What about a push-up? Can you do a push-up on your bike? So you have a low bar, you have a high bar. I actually have a middle bar too. You might have that. But let's work with the low and the high. So your choice. You can do your push-up off this high bar or the low bar. If you're sitting down, you might want to use the low bar. If you're standing, you may want to use the high bar. Let's push up right here. Push. Push. Nice. Push it down. Again, upper back, lower back, biceps, triceps. I'll explain what a tricep is in a minute. I know people hear triceps all the time and they're not sure what we're talking about. Everybody knows a bicep. And your waist, make sure it's that same crunch. 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 Remember the pulse? 3, 2, 1. So stay low on the pulse. 3, 2, 1. Keep it going if you're standing. If you're sitting, 3, 2, 1. And up. Feel that waist working? Good. Push it out. Let's put those two together. The crunch and the push. Looks like this. 4, 3, 2, and push. 4, 3, 2, crunch 2, 2, 1, push, 2, 1, crunch. If you just like the 4s, you stick with the 4s. If you're sitting, 2, 1, push, 2, 1, good. You guys are great. Next move, we're gonna walk our hands. So this is a little balance exercise. It also works into the waist. It's up, up, back, back. Reach to your upper bar, reach to your lower bar. Up, up, down, down. If you're sitting, up, up, keep pedaling. Actually, you don't have to pedal if you don't want to. If your legs start to feel tired, you can be right here. All right? If you're standing, up, back, back. Sweet. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, a new move. We're gonna crunch, crunch. So you see me exaggerating my arm here. I'm pointing my elbow towards my belly button. Good, this is all working your core. Also your shoulders, also your back. Now, am I touching my belly button? No, I'm aiming it in that direction. Point it towards your belly button. Point. Point. If you're sitting, you're the same. Point. Point. Good. Here we go. Crunch. Crunch. We're going to call this the side crunch. Or an elbow crunch. 3, 2. All right, let's put those moves together. So walk, walk, back, and crunch. Crunch, 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 and walk. Up, up, back, back, and crunch. Nice. Now this might be a good time for me to add a couple things. Make sure you're not riding a tricycle. Okay, you want to pull your knees in, keep them lined up with your handlebars. This is a big mistake that people sometimes make, and it's gonna tear up your knees, right? So pull them in. I know it looks hilarious too. Right? Also, another common mistake, check yourself. Good, the butt swing. See this butt swing? 4, 3, 2. Make pretend your butt is a bucket of water. So keep it in the middle. Don't spill the bucket. 4, 3, 2. Great, let's take it from the top. What do you think? Crunch. 4, 3, 2. Push up. Good. Walk your hands. And dig the elbow. Dig, dig, dig. Awesome. We're going to add on again. So let's crunch down for a second. Now this move is going to take you back. Right? So get used to this feeling of sliding back, sliding forward, sliding back, sliding forward. 4, 3, 2. If you're sitting down, you can be back and down, back. Okay, so it works sitting as well. Now I'm gonna put this backward slide into a little small combination. So it looks like this. Drop, pull back, bring it in, stand up. Drop down, pull back, bring it in, stand up. Drop, pull back. If you're sitting, drop, pull back, bring it in, come up. Drop, pull back. So a lot of this is low. Get yourself low. Pull back, bring it in, stand up. Again, back, shoulders, waist, biceps. 4, 3, 2, and one last little thing we're going to add to this. Tap your shoulder. Tap your shoulder. Here's the balance. Tap your shoulder. And if you're sitting, tap. So you can do all this. And I call this balance because sitting, you're nowhere near your handlebars. So you're balancing yourself on your seat. 4, 3, 2. Let's add it in right here. So we're drop, pull back, bring it in, tap your shoulder. Woo! All the stuff you can add on, right? Drop, pull back, bring it in, tap your shoulder. Nice. One more little piece I want to add. A side push-up. So take both your hands, bring them over here. If you feel comfortable with this. If you'd rather sit down, you're here. All right, now watch the move. 2, 1, and switch. 2, and 1, and switch. 2, and 1, and switch. 2, and 1. Good. So ride it out. Let's take a quick break. Grab some water. Wipe off with your towel if you need it. We're going to do that whole combination through once, and then we're going to use it a couple more times. So, but let's take a little rest break. Drink your water. Roll your shoulders back. Get ready for the rest. Roll it. 4, 3, have a drink, my imaginary drink of water. All right, good. Let's come back. We're going to run through the entire routine one time, and then we're going to start to add on. All right, remember from the top, the 4 crunches? Here we go. 4, 3, 2, push-ups. 4, 3, 2, walk your hands. 4, 3, 2, dig your elbows to your belly button. Dig, 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 and dig. Now drop it, booty back. And tap, booty back. And push it over here. 2 pushes. Other side, 2 pushes. Nice. Pedal it out. That's our routine. We're going to use that a couple more times. By the end of this afternoon, by the end of this session, you're going to feel like an old pro at this. All right, let's add a little weight. So I want you to feel like a hill climb now. Climb the hill, right? So again, you can sit. Don't be out here. Don't be swinging your butt. Get yourself in position. If you're standing, climb that hill. If you're sitting, same thing. But I want you to add a little bit of weight. Feel like you're putting on the brake in your car. Push. Nice. 4. Now, if you want, you can just climb the hill for, a minute and take your mind off everything else we've done. Or you can add a little move to this too. You can underhand crunch. Put your hands under the handlebar and crunch it. seated, you can do the same thing. Crunch, climb that hill. Good, crunching, crunching. Nice. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's have a seat. Keep the weight, the resistance on. Grab your weights. All right, ordinarily I might save these for the end of class, but I think they're maybe a tiny bit advanced, so I want to do it now while you have the most energy. Put your weights up, you're gonna twist. 4, 3, just to one side, 2, and 1. Switch, other side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch. 2, 1. Switch. 2. And if you're comfortable, do singles. Single, 4. Now, if you don't like these, you can always hold on to the handlebar with one hand, and you can do just side turns. I have like a funny little seat. My seat swivels, so sometimes when I'm trying to do them, it's coming with me. Okay? Or twist it. Now we're going to push out. Push straight out. Push. Push like you're holding 2 handles. Push. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Watch the twist and the push. Twist, center, push out, bring it in. Twist, center, bring it out, bring it in. Twist, center, bring it out, bring it in. Twist, center, bring it out, bring it in. Nice. You can put those back on your little table or wherever you have them. Hopefully some of you guys have a little cage on the back like I do. It's really handy. Right, we're gonna get back into our routine again. Now you're becoming an old hand at it, right? Let's start with the crunch. Make sure you take the weight back off because we're not on the hill right now. So take that weight back off. If you want, you can flush it out. Flush if you want to walk faster. If you want to roll faster while you're sitting, flush it out a bit. Take a drink. And when you're ready, come up or resume your seat and put your water away. Here we go. Let me get back on the beat here. 4, 3, 2, crunching. Crunch. Take it out wide. 4, 3, walk those hands. 4, 3, 2, dig the elbows in. Dig, dig, dig. Drop and booty back. Drop, pull back, bring it in, tap your shoulder. Drop, pull back, and remember that side crunch here. 2. And switch. 2. Nice. One more time. 2 and 1. Push up. 4, 3, 2. Walk your hands. 4, 3, 2. Dig your elbow. 4, 3. Drop and slide that booty back. Drop, slide back, bring it in, and tap. Drop, slide back, bring it in. Side push. 2. And switch. 2. All right, nice. Time for another hill climb. So if you're seated, you add a little bit to your wheel. You want to feel like you're putting on the brake in your car. If you're standing, same thing. Add a little bit to that brake. And let's climb. Once again, the climb, this can be all you do if you want for the next minute, just climb. But if you want to add on a little bit, see how extreme I am? I'm always adding on. You can do this just fine. This will be fine. Or remember these pushes over here? Well, how about putting both your hands over here and one hand behind your back? Push. Push. You can do this seated. Push. Working all those same things. Push. Good. Switch it. 4, 3, climbing that hill. 2. All right, have a seat. Keep pedaling with the resistance on. Grab your weights. bicep curls. You're going to curl up just slightly. Tiny lift. Small lift, small lift. Now start to bring them a little lower, wherever your range of motion will take them, and a little higher. So call this your full range of motion. Up, down, or a tiny lift, wherever you can get it. We're going to halfway, and down, all the way, and down. Halfway, all the way. So halfway, down, all the way, down. All the way is different for everybody, right? So if you can't get it all the way up to your shoulders, that's okay. It's whatever all the way is for you. It's fine. You might be here, a little lift, and this is your bigger lift. That's fine. Up and up. How about that pulse? 3, 2, 1, and drop it. 3, 2, 1. And you may have a question like, do I need to be pedaling during this? You can. You can stop completely. 1, and drop. If you're standing, you can do these standing. I would advise doing one at a time. And switch. But I would advise sitting. I mean, I'm just using 3-pound weights for this because I think that's good when you're on the bike. Maybe not use a 10-pound weight. You probably want to use something between 1 and 4. Okay, put those weights away. Like, trying to get them in my little cage here. All right, take the weight off the wheel. Roll it out again. So again, this is whatever pace is good for you. You do you. You're just working out with your girlfriend here. If you're standing, you can push it out too. Make sure the resistance is off. You're off the hill now, and you're just riding through the neighborhood on a flat road. Time to take a drink. Drink. Roll the shoulders. This is your active rest, we call it. So you're not stopping completely. You're still moving, but you're taking a little break here. You can stop the legs if you want and just roll. You can take big rolls back. Whatever you feel like you need, make sure you're drinking. 3, 2, we're gonna go back to the routine. So if you're sitting, you're fine. If you're standing, bring it up. Let's get on the beat. All right, remember the crunch. So 4, 3, 2. Here comes the crunch for everyone. 4, 3, 2. Remember the push-up? 4, 3, 2. Walk your hands. Walk, walk, walk. Dig those elbows in. Dig, 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 and drop booty back. Drop, booty back. Bring it in. Touch your shoulder. Drop, booty back. Bring it in. 2 pushes to the side. 2, 1, switch. 2, 1. One more time. 4, 3, 2. Push up. 4, 3, 2. Walk your hands. 4, 3, 2. Dig the elbow in. You're starting to feel like you have it now. Drop and booty back. Drop, booty back. Bring it in and tap. Drop, booty back. Push aside. 2 push. Switch. 2 push. Nice. Turn the wheel up a little bit. You're climbing again. Simple climb. Let's just climb. No need to do anything. You can just climb it. Just want you to feel a little bit more weight under your legs with no routine attached. If you're sitting, you're still coming along here. Push. 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 If you can do it with your hands behind your back, you're working your core even more. 4, 3, 2, keep it going up that hill. Up. Looking good. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Sit it down. Keep the resistance on your wheel. Grab your weights. If you need to grab a drink in between, you don't really need a cue for me to grab a drink. Anytime you need the drink, you take it. Grab your weights. So our last set of curls was like this for biceps. Now we're going to go like this. These are hammer curls. I'm going to take these a little different. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to pulse. 2, 1, and put them down. 3, 2, 1. Again, you don't have to pedal if you don't want to. 3, 2, 1, put them down. 3, 2, 1. Remember, halfway all the way, little lift. Bigger lift. Little lift, bigger lift. And big, and small, and big. Now we're going to put a little lateral raise in here, so you're going to pull up. Pull up. Notice the weights. They're turning horizontal. They're turning horizontal. So from a hammer curl to horizontal. Lift. So this is working these lat muscles in here. It helps get rid of the muffin top. Also, upper back. Lift. Trying to get the beat up. 2. Let's put it together with the hammer. Hammer curl. Lateral raise. I'm hitting my little map of the universe here. Lateral raise. Good. Last one. Nice. Put those away. Now's the time for your drink and your active rest. Pedal it out. Have a drink. You can take the wheel down to low again. And you're riding your bike just like you're out in the street, flat road. Have a drink. Roll the shoulders. Roll. Whatever you need to feel stretched out after that last workout. We've got one more set to go. 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, if you want to stay seated again, stay seated. If you've been seated all along and you want to try getting up and riding standing, that's cool too. If you've been standing all along and you feel like you need to take a rest break and want to sit through this set, that's fine too. Or you do you. So here we go. Let's get up if you're getting up. Good, just pedal it out. This isn't a climb because you don't have a lot of resistance on the weight. We're just getting ready for our routine. 4, 3, 2. Good, crunch it down for 4. 4, 3, 2. Take it out wide, push up. 4, 3. What comes next? Walk your hands. Walk, walk. Dig that elbow into your waist. Good. Drop booty back. Drop. Booty back. Bring it in. Tap your shoulder. Drop. Booty back. Bring it in. To the side over here. Push 2. Push 2. Now notice your legs don't have to be going very fast through this whole thing and you're getting a workout. Crunch again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Push up. Walk your hands. Walk. Walk. Dig your elbow. Dig. Dig. Drop and the booty comes back right here. Drop. Booty back. Bring it in. Tap the shoulder. Drop. Booty back. Bring it in. Tap the shoulder. 2 pushes. Push. Push. Switch. Push. Push. Let's climb the hill. Turn your wheel up. Climb the hill climb. If you're seated, you're doing the same. Push. Push. You just want to feel like you're putting on the brake in your car. Don't make it so hard that you're hurting anything. Not your knees, not your hips. You just want to feel a little bit more resistance than you did when you're flat road. 4, 3, or if you're up, you're here. One more little move. You want to? Down, down, up, up, up. Good. Down, down, up, and up. Keep climbing. 4, 3, 2. You're still in that hill. If you're sitting, you're still in that hill. Push it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Keep the resistance on. Last set of weights. If you need a drink before we do these, you're going to get a drink after for sure. If you need one now, you take it. Last set of weights. Triceps. So if you can use one weight or 2 weights, but I want them overhead like this. If one is all you can handle, I don't like this one arm thing. I see this a lot in classes, and I think it's really hard on older bones and frames. So either one over your head like this, or both of them over your head like that. If you can take both, if you can tolerate both of them, bring them together, and you're gonna dip and up, dip and up. Do you have to pedal? No. You can be stationary if you want for this. Guess what? If you're advanced, you can stand, but then you're going to go to that one arm thing because you have to hold on with one arm. So be sure your bones can support it. Good. Or, again, you don't want your elbows out here. We're trying to work the jiggle on the back of the arm. So try to pull them in halfway to the top of your head and lift. To the base of your skull and lift. Top of your head, base of your skull. Now you just get as close as you can. Top of the head, base of the skull. 2 more. Top of the head, base of the skull, top of the head, base of the skull. Nice. Put one away, keep the other one. We're going to do kickbacks. You're probably very familiar with kickbacks. If you're sitting down, you're going to curl it back. I'm going to try to show you. Let me swivel my seat so you can see what I'm doing. Back and in. Back and in. Back and in. Swivel my seat back. That's so convenient. Back. Back. Sorry, I should have started on the other side, but this picture's in my way. Notice I'm getting a little crunch in too while I'm doing it. So I'm also working the waist while I'm doing this. You don't have to work the waist. You can be right here. 4. If you're standing, you can do this too. Switch it the other way and take your time switching if you're standing. Switch it over, get a good grip, ready, and kick it back. 6. Nice. Straight back. Now, if you can only get it up to here, that's just fine. Wherever you can lift it. 4 more. 4. If you're sitting, you're still with me, right? 2. And 1. Nice. Put it away. You're done with your weights. We have an active rest and we're going to cool down. Have a drink. Imaginary bottle. I do have my big bottle here. I probably should take a drink. All right. Pedal it out. Take the weight off. Flat road. You're on that nice flat road. I mean, if you want to go like really fast, knock yourself out, but I think after all that, just get a good pace up, flush it all out of your legs. 3, 2, and 1. Start to slow it down. Slow it down. If you're standing, same thing. Start to slow. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Remember the stretch from the beginning? One leg comes in front, one leg is behind, and you're going to come down and point your toes up. If you're sitting down, you can still do this. Sit down and point your toes up. Your toes need to be pointed to the ceiling to get that good stretch up the back of your calf muscle. Okay, switch legs. Same thing with the other leg. One toe is forward, the other leg is back, and you're going to, if you can slide back, great, and push those toes up to the ceiling. All right, and then point your toes down, and this is, again, the only time when I'll let you hunch, round your back. Looks good. I love this stretch. If you can move your hands to the lower bar and have them in close and just push your heels down, to me this is like, and if you're sitting it'll work too, but lift your booty maybe 2 inches off the seat and you'll feel a really nice stretch up the back of your legs. All right, let's very gently come off the bike. So I'm going to slip out of these little cages, come off your bike. Let's take a stretch across the handlebars. So reach across your handlebars, stretch out your lower back, stick your booty out. If you'd rather do it across your bike seat, that's fine too. Woohoo! All right, let's see where you can reach. So you can grab here, you can grab your ankle, anywhere you can grab. But we want to stretch out the front of this quadricep, which is the front of your thigh. So stretch, hold on to your bike, switch, grab what you can, stretch. Everybody's got different flexibility, and after a big workout, maybe you're not feeling as flexible, or maybe you're feeling all warmed up and you're feeling more flexible. Okay, remember our moves from the beginning of class? So let's arms down, arms up, both hands to the sky, tilt over, tilt the other way, come center, and incline yourself back a little bit. Not a lot, you don't need to be way back, just a little tiny bit. Good. Bring one hand across and stretch your arm. Take that same arm, put it behind your head and stretch it there if you feel comfortable doing that. Other way, bring it across. And one hand up above your head and stretch that. You may wake up a little stiff in the morning since you tried something new. Push your hands away again. They don't have to be all the way up here. They can be wherever you're comfortable. You want to push away. And same thing behind. Bring your shoulder blades together, put your hands together, and wherever you can lift them. You don't have to be up here. You can be anywhere you're comfy. Just even a tiny little lift, you'll feel it between your shoulder blades. A nice stretch. And your last big breath. So we're going to bring it down, a nice quad stretch. Bring it up. You're going to put your hands together and bring them down with a nod to your classmates. Yay! I'm sweating, guys. I need my towel. Okay, that went for a while, so hopefully we have some time for questions here.
Yeah, we have a few minutes.
Okay, great.
And there are a few questions. First off, I want to say that Patrina Piazza is amazing, fantastic. Please let's do this regularly. Let me scroll back a little bit. There was an earlier question from Steve Gadd, I believe it was, who asked, "Do you take time off?"
You mean, am I still adopting my crazy extreme workout like ethic? I do. I will take off a day or two each week. I make sure I spin probably 5 times a week and I hike a couple times a week. So I probably get 7 workouts a week, but I alternate. So, once in a while it rains on my hike and I don't go and I don't get on my bike either. So yeah, you do have to give yourself a little bit of like a sabbatical, or else you'll wind up with a different set of injuries, than you had the last time.
A little breather of sorts, right? And then Molly is asking, what price range is a decent home cycle?
I'll tell you, like you'll see them in a whole range of prices up to like, $3,000. I mean, the Pelotons are really expensive, but you don't have to buy a program. You can see, you don't even have to buy a program. You can kind of put together your own moves. There are some really good ones for $600. I mean, I've seen some really excellent bikes with great reviews. If you go on Amazon and just search, you'll see all the reviews and what's getting 4 stars. It's just it's a really good idea to go see what other people are saying about it, and ask your questions of the vendor if you can. But I think you can get a really nice bike for $600 that, especially if you're starting out, that'll work just fine for you.
And then a kind of related question, Diana asked, can any stationary bike work for spinning?
I find it's a harder time when you're talking about the upright bike, the upright handlebars. I find that it's a little harder to do. You can do some of these things, but not all of them. Like it's a little harder to do a push up off that kind of bike. You can do crunches, probably not a push up. You might be able to do the like pull back a little bit, but some of the other things like the side crunches, maybe not. So I would say you'd have some limited range on that kind of a bike.
And then Tina asks also, again, kind of a related question. Are there any exercises that you showed us that I shouldn't do on a recumbent exercise bike?
Hmm. Wow. I've never even tried to like map it out on a recumbent, but would think there's a lot of them that you can't do if you're recumbent from here. Um, I can't even actually imagine this workout really working on a recumbent bike. But that would be an interesting thing to try to map out a workout on a recumbent bike. It's like something I'll have to make a note of and try that for the future if a lot of people are starting to get recumbents.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jan. And then there's, I don't know if you have access to the chat room, but there are a lot of great compliments and a lot of great
Okay,
comments in the
I'll take
chat
a look.
room.
Thank you.
Let me look to see if, here's a good question. What average heart rate should you attempt to achieve while spinning from
Wow.
tolerance?
Well, they always say, what is it like the average, the standard is 220 minus your age, is what you should try to achieve. A lot of people still think that's a good measure. A lot of other people think that people's bodies are so different and people are in such different shape. Some people might be in great shape at 70 and some people might not be in such great shape at 70. And the 70-year-old people who are in great shape can raise their heart rate higher. So I think if you have a concern about that, I would talk to your doctor and see if you should wear a heart rate monitor, because I know that a lot of people who ride their bikes, a lot of runners that I used to run with too, wear the heart rate monitors, and their doctor has recommended what range they should be in. And that's probably the
Yeah,
safest way to go. And there's a lot of
consult
good
your
tech for that now. Yeah.
consult your healthcare provider. Yeah, I guess it's different for everybody.
Yeah, and as you get fitter and fitter, it changes too. So it
True.
depends on your
Very
level
true.
of fitness. Yeah.
And then one last question we have, because I see we're out of time. Is there a possibility to film this with your bike sideways so we can see your instruction and moves better? Is from Deborah.
You
And
know,
that's
I
not a
I
bad
think
idea.
that's a great idea. And like the
Yeah.
little space that I'm in right here, you can see this is my front room that's over my garage. And this was the best way for me to set up the computer, but I definitely see the advantage of that because I've taken a couple online classes. It's nice to be able to have like a camera kind of moving around you so you could see the front and see the side. Um, I try to swivel my seat a couple times to show people kind of like the side view if they need to see it. But yeah, I do think that would be excellent to be able to tape it like that. And maybe in a future taping, I will look into doing something like that.
Yeah, Deborah, that's a great that came from Deborah Bierman. So great tip, Deborah.
Yep,
Thank you for
yep,
sharing
it's
that.
really good. It's a great
And thank
idea.
you,
Yep,
Jan, for your wonderful presentation. It looks like everybody got a good workout. I see everybody wiping their brows and doing it and drinking their water.
awesome. Yeah, I'm sweaty.
So
I'm sweaty.
fantastic. And thank you so much, everyone, for participating. Let's give Jan a round of applause for her presentation.